Okay. Good morning. How are you all today? We're here again today for Bible study with Andre and Betty. Thank you all for visiting with us and welcome. Today we're in Joshua chapter 20, and we're also going to be looking at Numbers, the 35th chapter, verses 1 through 15. We're going to read the verses, and then we'll go to Numbers. So we're looking at all the 11 tribes have received their inheritance. 2.5 tribes on the east side of Jordan River, and 9.5 in Canaan land, which is the west side of the Jordan River. But the Levites were not given land in the same way. The other tribes had to give the Levites inheritance out of their inheritance. And so this is what we'll be looking at in Joshua chapter 20 and in Numbers chapter 35. Verse 1. The Lord also spake unto Joshua, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, Appoint out for you cities of refuge, whereof I spake unto you by the hand of Moses. So when he says in verse 1, the Lord also spake to Joshua, it's because he's telling Joshua to think back about what I told Moses in Numbers chapter 35. So let's just look at a few verses in Numbers 35 to find out the purpose of the cities of refuge. Numbers chapter 35, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses in the plains of Moab by Jordan, near Jericho, saying, Command the children of Israel that they give unto the Levites of the inheritance of their possessions cities to dwell in. And you shall give also unto the Levites suburbs for the cities round about them. Verse 3. And the cities shall they have to dwell in, and the suburbs of them shall be for the cattle, and for their goods, and for all their beasts. So, verse 4 says, And the suburbs of the city which ye shall give unto the Levites shall reach from the wall of the city and outward 1,000 cubits round about. And ye shall measure from without the city on the east side 2,000 cubits, and on the south side 2,000 cubits, and on the west side 2,000 cubits, and on the north side 2,000 cubits. And the city shall be in the midst. This shall be to them the suburbs of the city. Verse 6. And among the cities which ye shall give unto the Levites, there shall be 6 cities for refuge. Now these cities of refuge is a type of Christ sheltering us under his loving care all of our lives and into eternity. And this refuge, city of refuge, was for protection if I had killed somebody unintentionally, or it would be involuntary manslaughter. So that's the purpose for these cities of refuge. And I'm going to read a few more verses in Numbers 35, verse 6 again. And among the cities which ye shall give unto the Levites, there shall be 6 cities for refuge, which you shall appoint for the manslayer, that he may flee thither. And to them ye shall add 42 cities. So the priests, the Levites, would get a total of 48 cities. So all the cities which you shall give to the Levites shall be 48 cities. Them shall you give with their suburbs. And verse 8, and the cities which you shall give shall be of the possession of the children of Israel. From them that have many ye shall give many, but from them that have few ye shall give few. Everyone shall give of his cities unto the Levites according to the inheritance which he inherited. Verse 10, speak unto the children of Israel and say unto them, when you be come over Jordan into the land of Canaan, then you shall appoint you cities to be cities of refuge for you, that the slayer may flee thither, which killeth any person unawares or unintentionally. And they shall be unto you cities for refuge from the avenger. Now the avenger was the nearest kinsman to the one who was slain, to come after me, because I have accidentally killed their relative. But if they go to these cities of refuge, then they would be protected from the revenger. Verse 15. These 6 cities shall be a refuge, both for the children of Israel and for the stranger and for the sojourner among them, that everyone that killeth any person unawares may flee thither. And if he smite him with an instrument of iron so that he die, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. So this is God protecting us in the days of Israel after they conquered the land. Then they are to appoint these cities of refuge for the manslayer that slayed a person without having anything against that person. And in our day, we call it manslaughter. So back to Joshua chapter 20. I'm going to read verse 2 again. Speak to the children of Israel, saying, appoint out for you cities of refuge, whereof I spake unto you by the hand of Moses. And that's what we just finished reading. Verse 3, that the slayer that killeth any person unawares or unknowingly may flee thither, unwittingly as unknowingly may flee thither. And they shall be your refuge from the avenger of blood. And in our time, if a person murders another person, that's one thing that will go before the courts. But if you kill somebody accidentally, then that's the punishment for that is not as great as it is for the murderer. And so this was God protecting the children of Israel from innocent blood being shed. Verse 4, and when he doth flee unto one of those cities shall stand and when he that doth flee unto one of those cities shall stand at the entering of the gate of the city, and shall declare his cause in the ears of the elders of that city, they shall take him into the city unto them, and give him a place that he may dwell among them. Verse 5, and if the avenger of blood pursue after him, then they shall not deliver the slayer up into his hand, because he smote his neighbor unwittingly and hated him not before time. Verse 6, and he shall dwell in that city until he stand before the congregation for judgment, and until the death of the high priest that shall be in those days. Then shall the slayer return and come unto his own city and unto his own house, unto the city from whence he fled. And so after the death of the high priest, he had to stand before the congregation before he go into the city of refuge, and after the death of the high priest, he could come out and go to his own inheritance. Verse 7, and they appointed Kadesh in Galilee and Mount Naphtali, and Shechem in Mount Ephraim, and Kirjath Arbor, which is Hebron, in the mountain of Judah. Verse 8, and on the other side Jordan by Jericho eastward, they assigned Bezer in the wilderness upon the plain out of the tribe of Reuben, and Ramoth in Gilead out of the tribe of Gad, and Golan in Bashan out of the tribe of Manasseh. So that's a total of 6 cities. These were the cities appointed for all the children of Israel, for the stranger that sojourneth among them, and for the stranger that sojourneth among them, that whosoever killeth any person at unawares might flee thither, and not die by the hand of the avenger of blood, until he stood before the congregation. And so this is just a type of Christ in the Old Testament, showing us how God protects us, because Jesus paid the sin debt for us all. And so we thank the Lord for these lessons, and next week we'll see the other portions of the land that the Levites will gain out of the inheritance of the other tribes. So thank you all and have a great day.